Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL Jedi Show. This is Gameweek 28 double game week where Bournemouth and Luton will play twice. My name is Hafiz and I would like to welcome Azmin to the stream. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? It's very. I'm looking forward to this weekend because of the Liverpool Manchester City. So let's see how we go with that one.
All right, interesting week, man. I think I'm excited, especially on this game week 28 because there are plenty things to discuss for sure. They also an important juncture before we go into really deep into the season because a lot of community or even FPM is talking about what's the right strategy because the free hit chip, the World Cup chip, or even so-called planning for maybe just using transfer to deal with this. As we know, this week will be a double game week 28, Bournemouth versus Luton. Then a big blank game week in 29. I think that's the case where the people are thinking, what's the best movement? And if you ask me, man, I'm
Yep.
still undecided. To be frank, what you feel on that?
Yeah. It's totally a crapshoot. I mean, obviously, for me, my team's not doing too well, but that's not stopping me from trying to plan out the best way I can. And obviously, it's a lot. You have to accept that it's very team dependent, and there's a lot of whether or not you free hit through game week 29, whether or not you wildcard to game week 29. It's it does depend on your strategy, where your team is at in terms of points, and whether you're willing to risk it, as well as any injuries that you will have as well. And one thing, when you go look at the entire season, there will be weeks where you sacrifice a bit in order to get a better week later, or the other way around. So striking that balance is hard, but if you plan properly, then I think there's definitely success to be had.
Yep, I'm interested to know what's our thought for this stream. Maybe we will find answer when we discuss this. I mean,
Yeah.
let's stick to the talking points. Okay, for sure. How our team performed in game week 27. All right, and then some stats in game week 27. The fixture outlook, mean just to have a look, the overall perspective. Because can I say we are coming to the end of 10 games before the end of the season, right? I think I
Yep.
suppose so. So the last 10 game
Yep.
of the
Yep.
season. So it is pretty much coming to the end. But I think this is the most crucial part where it can be make or break. I think if let's say wherever position we are, this is where we need to plan and we can actually end up in the right place or is continue to diet in terms of our performance, right? And then
Yeah.
I think number four is interesting, man. The chip strategy. We take a look. I'll present you the three chip strategy that we can discuss because it can happen to my team. Or you've been thinking what the right thing? I think interesting. There's some strategy that we can go depending on your team. Game with 28 fixture, the captain pick, and our transfer plan as usual. All right, man. Let's go to my team first. All right. I scored 77 points, and the average points this week was 63 points. Okay, slightly higher than average, but it did not deter my team from having a red arrow from 57,000 to 61,000. And when I scout in terms of other team performance, whether in my mini leagues or the overall rank, plenty that scored around 80 plus. So
Yep.
I guess if you scored lower than 80, maybe that's where you're going to have some down in terms of your rank. But it's okay. We have plenty more times to catch up. Let to talk through my team in terms of goalkeeper. Drew Parker, 7 points. When Newcastle kept a clean sheet, but a lot of managers are having Areola and maybe they do not have second keeper to play and they decided to play Areola against Everton against Everton away. They concede a goal, but Arula still managed to get 13 points, 6 points better than Dubravka without keeping a clean sheet. It's because Arula saved a penalty, made like 9 saves, and got that 3 bonus point. So easily 13 points. And what can I say?
I mean, but yeah, I mean, before we continue to the rest of the team, I guess it's really that one of those weeks where the keepers performed. Yeah,
Yeah,
so and it was just
exactly.
a case of which keeper you had, but you got to be, in the end, you're thankful that your keeper did return points. So which keeper it was, some people had Dubravka, some people still had Areola, and some people had who went for the Liverpool keeper whose name eludes me, but I
Yeah,
have him.
like you. That time
So
we have a look at your team. Yeah.
yeah,
And
so it was so we can't it's just the week. I think we should just be happy that our keeper did come good. Yeah,
yeah.
but and hope that the rest of the team also did well.
All right. A bit more into my team. Okay, 2 points. Can I say disappointing? Might be. I thought at least City maybe can keep a clean sheet against Manchester United, but it is not meant to be, and it's not a surprise. It's not something
Yeah,
surprising because Man City, even though in terms of stat, in terms of their ball pass is good, but they kept conceding odd goals. So there you are, 2 points. Gabriel 6 points. Arsenal kept another clean sheet. I think already is it 3 game in a row, like
yep,
6-0,
yep.
5-0, 4-0, something like that. So if you have double up Arsenal defense, I guess you're in a better position. All right. And then can I say I'm a bit disappointed for Brentford when I thought I can depend on him, play him instead of putting on my bench. But Everton concede that he goes right. Yeah, that got only 1 point. So that's the story. And other than that, all my strike force, the seven front up front playing all deliver points except Solanke, who maybe 50-50 before he actually turned up to play that almost full 90 minutes against Burnley, right? But only two
Yep.
points. And then Palmer, one assist. Foden, all right? I think that's the big one. 2 goals, 3 bonus point there. Saka, I think 2 assists there. San, who actually I brought in for injured Huang, right? And got that at least 1 goal, right? But I don't think there's any bonus point. Watkins continue to be monstrous. 2 goals, 3 bonus point, 13 points for the Aston Villa striker. And Haaland only 1 goal. So I guess all right. That's conclude into my team. Yeah. I got red arrow, but I'm still optimistic. I'm moving forward, me.
Yeah, it's quite fun when you think about it that Watkins is on fire, yet we somehow still don't captain him. Yeah, because we keep worrying or thinking that the other, you got Haaland who has a great matchup who has a great record against Manchester United at home, but we ignoring the fact that United have been quite decent recently. And but still, City did win, but unfortunately, Haaland was not one of the big ones that fell to Foden, who we wouldn't have captained over Haaland, would we? I don't think it would never be an option. So that's the thing with Haaland. You got some stable source of points, but for this week, but those who went for it, got some explosive points. Yeah, unless you captain Saka. So yeah, so I think it was overall you've got a good week. Palmer blanked for once, yeah, which was
Palmer
surprising.
got
I
at
did.
least 1 assist, me. I got 1 assist at least.
Sorry. Oh,
I
Palmer
got
got
one.
one. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so let's see. Ake Gabriel, yeah, Arsenal trashing Sheffield United. So Saka was considered. Well, he's the most popular Arsenal attacker. So for him to only come off with 7 points is a bit of disappointment. But I don't think that many people had other Arsenal attackers. So it didn't hurt us that much. Yeah. So
Yeah.
but it's good to see Solanke up and running, at least because he'll be ready for the double game week.
All right. Supposedly, just to share with everyone, supposedly Alphonse should come in for our stream, but he might be late, or I'm not sure. Okay. But if they say he's here, we definitely show his team because he has Havertz in his teams.
Oh,
A
lovely.
Maverick transfer in and paid dividend, got that 14 points.
Excellent.
All right, let's go to your team. 60 points, mean another red arrow for you, 2.7 to 2.9. But I think there's some positive notes there, especially on Kelleher.
Yep. Yeah, the slide keeps continuing for me. And when I look at it, the main difference between my team and most others is the fact I don't have Foden. Instead, so I had that option to go for him because I decided that KDB isn't gonna be dependable anymore. They're going to rationalize and be more careful with him. So I decided to sell KDB. And the problem was trying to figure out who to bring in. So, and my answer was Bowen. So Bowen, who also still, West Ham still won against Everton, but he didn't. He only returned one assist. So that's disappointing. But anyway, so that was my transfer. So Kelleher, Bradley, who both returned great clean sheets, and it was nice to see, especially for me as a Liverpool fan. Alex Moreno continuing to disappoint, and I'm not sure. It's obviously another mistake, one mistake transfer I made from the week before. So he's not. He seems to have dropped in his points potential totally. So we'll see. Uh, Doty, yep. So Doty, uh, happy for the assist and leading up to this week. He's ready for that double game week, and and this is the last week that I'm relying on Luton, but because Doty, literally Luton assets have been disappointing, and in this period of time where we're supposed to hope that they score a lot of points. So do have Barkley on the bench, if you notice, but I know I wasn't going to bring him in until the double game week. So it will be blanked. Neto, what can I say? Neto is a disappointing, and now I was thanking my lucky stars the week before that Neto wasn't injured, but Huang was, but now Neto has joined the club, so it's very very frustrating. Gross, who didn't start, another victim of the RDZ.
Yeah,
RDZ seems to have taken
yeah.
over Pep as the RDZ roulette. Yeah, he has. It's crazy because he got Estupinian who started, but I benched him. But luckily, it didn't matter because he
Yeah,
Brighton
from
was
now on, right?
becoming one of those teams that do very well one week and screw up the next. Yeah, let's see how they do for Europa tonight. So yeah, Harlan Watkins and Tony unfortunately blanked at home against Chelsea. So yeah,
Chelsea.
that's something that, yeah. So yeah, I was one of those who had the better keeper by 2 points. But
I think that
I
that two
yeah,
Liverpool players, I mean, Kelleher 9 points, Bradley 8 points.
yeah. So unfortunately, that does mean I'm locked in terms of bringing in Liverpool players. But I guess I can wait one more week and then we'll see what happens in game week after game week 29. I might just wild card. Let's see how we go. Yeah, if I wanted to.
I'm going to persuade you. I'm trying to, as much as possible, going to persuade you on the third option in terms of you mentioned about wildcarding, right? So
Yeah,
it could be the one for you. Let me just see later.
yeah. Okay. So that's it.
All right. Quickly on Game Week 27 stats in terms of captaincy. We already know Harden only scored 6 points, captain by 5.4 million managers. No surprise there. But if you the Saka captainer or Watkins captainer, then you at least Saka 1 point over than Haaland. And if you go for Watkins, you got 7 points more. So pretty
Yeah.
much a bold manager who actually did that, they got their rewards. I'm happy for whoever did that because they are braver than us for sure, man. But yeah, Haaland could actually score more if against United. But I feel Watkins and Saka is up there in terms of captaincy, and you can see there in terms of top 100 most captain players, man. All right,
Yep.
Bravo, Saka 12 managers, or even Son got that 7 points, equals with Saka, right? But that
Yep.
two managers in the top 100 captain, Watkins, I suppose they move a bit of rank up there.
Yeah. They don't mind having a go. So well done
Yes.
them.
Right. And in terms of game week 27 most bought player, Sun, 661k managers brought in, including myself. got that 7 points for Huang. Okay, all right, that's good. But Solanke also continue to get more new owners because they doubled this week and they decided to bring in against Burnley before in game 27. No return, but it is set up for this week. Did you bring Bowen, man? No, huh?
What?
Did you brought Bowen last week?
Yeah, I brought Wayne Bowen. That's right.
So you got that 5 points. So pretty much you're happy, and you can I say set up for game week 29 if you decide not to do anything. Huh?
Yeah, so when I transferred in Bowen, it was one eye on that game week 29. And honestly, I was considering Foden, but the reason I didn't bring Foden in was because of game week 28, where they play Liverpool, and then game week 29 blank. So that was the main reason. But so obviously it suffered for this week, but will that mean I come good next week, this weekend? So we'll see. So that's why it's a trade-off really.
Fair. All right. Let's go to team of the week. As we all know, the best player or the top scorer for game week 27 was Foden, but it is important that there's plenty of double digit
Very
players
close.
inside here. You're right.
Yeah.
Foden 15 points, but
Everyone.
closely you can see Wilson from Fulham. We got Harvard's 40 points. I think he scored one, assist one, and three bonus point. Really, but if Afos here, he definitely says that. Yeah, I brought him in and got that 40 points. If you go a bit different in terms of Arsenal defense, Gabriel Sabliba only 6 points, but if you got White, you got at 13 points. I think he got assist, a clean sheet, then one bonus point. Sorry, he scored a goal. Sorry, White scored a
Goal,
goal.
yeah.
Kivior actually got the assist. For Arsenal player here, Martinelli with 11 points, but a yellow flag right now. We already touched about Areola. I just touched about Shah because he got that clean sheet, assist, and three bonus point. And I think he stole one bonus point from Dubravka. I think he got that assist. A major one from Newcastle came in. Trippier owner will be a bit disappointed because they did not get that clean sheet point because Trippier sub out earlier, 20 minutes plus, I suppose because of injury. Something to watch out if let's say you are the owner. If you eyeing for Bournemouth player and audition for Lewis Cook, cannot become at a better time. You got a 262 point if you're interested. And then upfront Watkins mean team of the week.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Watkins, the question is why. If you, yeah, so but other than that, you got Foden, who is the mainstay, and probably and Areola, those who try to figure out which keeper, and if they will start with Areola, well done them. So now the question is the rest. Let's look at the rest. You got White, who's just not the mo- is almost the least popular regular starter defender for Arsenal at the moment, so it's very unlikely that people have him. And Kiwa, of course, who's just coming into the scene with making his more mark there, but then above most people who either have Gabriel and what's his name? Oh my God.
Saliba, is it?
Yeah, or Gabriel Saliba or both. Yeah, so
Okay.
as a result, these two were not lucky. So I can tell, I can see how frustrating it is for those Arsenal teams who would love to have more points, but unfortunately they were usurped by the less popular counterparts. And same in midfield as well, Havertz and Martinelli, who has just not been the best this season, but yeah, he came in and he delivered. So other than that, Fulham, Wilson and Muniz. So Muniz is definitely someone that could be considered. One thing with Fulham is that they don't have any Europe to worry about, so they really are focusing on getting as best position as they can under Marco Silva, who I rate. They definitely going from strength to strength, and
What do you think, mate, in terms of Fulham result? 3-0 win against Brighton, mate.
yeah. So yeah, well, I can't deny that Fulham was looking really good. I did see some highlights. At the same time, Brighton clearly being distracted by Europe, and there was a lot of speculation. Unfortunately, I was so busy the week before the deadline that I missed the whole speculation that Gross was likely going to be benched. Yeah, so and their reasoning was that I've read was because they want to save him a bit for Europe. So which turns out to be true. Well, he was benched, so it's almost confirmed that he will start tonight. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it does raise a question mark for people like me who have two Brighton assets actually, because I have
Mm.
um Estepinian as well, so I need to figure that out. But anyway, so that's it. Yeah, so we've talked about everything else. So Cook, yeah, so Cook, not exactly the most popular Bournemouth pick coming up, but he is playing a double game next week. So, but you have to um again, depending on what your strategy is, because Bournemouth do not play in game week 29.
Yep. Yeah, from that match week 27, we did touch about the clean sheet points, man. 5 things clean sheet there. If you have Leno, you got that clean sheet. Dubravka, Gallagher, Neto. Bournemouth coming into this double game week. Maybe Neto is the one that you should focus. Is whenever Bournemouth have a clean sheet or deliver, Neto will be on that bonus point. So I think
Yeah,
interesting pick. He's the captain of Bournemouth anyway, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
he's a must. He's a starter. So yeah,
yeah. And Luton continue, at least they perform, although they concede 2 goals against Villa at the first half. They try to come back. They almost get the draw until the late goal from Lucas Digne. If not, Luton will get something from that game.
yeah. So see, this is the Luton I want to see. The one that doesn't give up and scores goal and concedes as well. But because they haven't been here around for the last few matches after they were scoring 4 goals in eight goal thrillers. So it's nice to see them back just in time for double game week. For those like me who've held on to their Luton assets, I need something this weekend from them.
Yelah, someone like me, man. I brought them game week 24 code before that double with the I in game week 29 supposedly even though the Luton result not sure, but most probably they're gonna play because they're facing Man City in FA Cup round, and then
Yep.
Forest will probably out against Manchester. That result come in, and here we are in terms of Luton assets. All right, man. Let's go to the big topic. Here again, the beautiful visual from Lego Mania and FPL. Do follow him if you want to see this kind of each visual, and you can see there's a beautiful one. And for us to summarize in terms of the fixture outlook, man,
Yep.
27 is over. 28, we can see double for Bournemouth and Luton Town, especially Bournemouth, man. I just want to touch the fixture are really good on paper, right, man? Promoted side was playing at home. Sheffield United was really the team at the bottom right now. Luton really in terms of conceding goal, right? So Bournemouth clearly the front runner in terms of game for this. Instead of Luton Town, who actually playing both away. To Palace with the new manager Glasner, they shoot up for this game because they're still in trouble. And then away to Bournemouth, as we know. That is for game week 28. And then on game week 29, you can see banyak kelabu there, right? Where only 8 teams there, when it means 8 teams, only 4 games. Where Villa, Spurs, Brentford, Fulham, West Ham, Forest, Burnley, and Luton, the only team that going to feature in that game. And if you can see, just a quick one in terms of Luton, if you invest them, you got that 2 game in 28 and 1 game 29. If I may say that, right? So then after that, I think there'll be international break after 29. If I'm right, I mean, then the game week 20 will come in. Uh, and then
And we
the normal one, okay, And then you can see there, especially in game week 34, if I may touch, that is where the game week, not the biggest game week, okay, but double game week is expected somewhere there, but there could be some single game week, of which just touch a bit in terms of fixture, whichever still around to be played. Game week 26, Chelsea Spurs was postponed due to the Carabao Cup, and they could feature somewhere. You can see them, man, 35 or 36, because they're trying to slot in terms of feature. They can play that game, midweek game, and game week 37, man. People are expecting a big double game week, where a lot of team, especially the big team, because they that could be the only free maybe to just play whatever matches that around. Thinking that City, the likes of Liverpool, the like Arsenal are going far in terms of European competition. So this is roughly, I won't touch in details which team gonna play in 34 or 37. It's all depending on the FA Cup quarterfinal. Quarterfinal matches where Manchester United going to play Liverpool. The expectation Liverpool going to win that game. Same for Man City versus Newcastle. Man City are expected to win that game. So for Chelsea versus Leicester, Chelsea and Wolves versus Coventry. So those are the teams that are expected to move, but it is FA Cup, and anything can happen. I mean, so maybe touch a bit more in terms of you can see the whole picture now. What do you feel in terms of how we should approach this?
Yeah, I look that now there's really not much excuse in terms of, really, if you haven't planned, like me, then I don't really have any real excuse because so many things are already there for us to decide. The only thing now is the FA Cup quarterfinal, whether it has an impact, but you have a lot there that you can decide because this is where your whatever chips that you have left, that's you need to work it out and decide where you're going to play it. Are you going to play the bench boost and get the game week 37, which the volatile game week 37, I guess you could call it that, or the game week 34, which is more solid, but you don't know what's going to happen there. Yeah, so that I like you, Hafiz, you got the wild card and the bench boost
I think
and the
both of
free
us
hit.
left with three, right? I think both of us, right? Do
No,
you
I have.
still have triple captaincy chip?
Yeah, I still have the triple captaincy. Yeah,
Then
so
I think this is the best way to play that game with 28, at least on paper.
yep. So I just need to bring Solanke in if that's my plan. Yeah. So yeah, that is you're absolutely right. That is my, I'm assessing, and it was good to see that because most likely everyone's gonna have um um Solanke. So it's and whether or not you captain him, that's something that people need to make that decision on. And
I
of
think
course for
everyone
me,
got the
get
captain Solanke this week, man. I think so.
yeah, yeah. So if that's the case, then it's just a case of, for me, it's a case of triple captaining to get the extra edge lah. Yeah,
For sure.
if that's the route I want to take. Yeah, so that one has to come into play lah for that one. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but at the moment it's almost a foregone conclusion. Yeah, that he is the right choice looking at the fixtures. It's, it's just too hard to resist. Yeah, I mean, as much as I like playing rogue, it doesn't seem there's just nothing there that looks like it. And captaincy, almost everyone's going to captain him. Is there anyone not going to captain him? I can't see it. If you Unless you don't have him,
I
then who
think
do you captain? Because
yeah, because
Yeah,
this week
Haaland
picture
plays Liverpool.
is Man City versus Liverpool, right? I think
Yeah, so
the one that going to captain Haaland mean is the ghost team because they are not active anymore.
yeah, Watkins has Spurs also, just for the sake of argument. Yeah, so
Okay.
then there's no matchup that's like overwhelming insane. Yeah, so yeah, even Arsenal play Brentford,
Maybe
which is
Arsenal
good.
Brentford at home. Hmm.
Yeah, but it's just hard to pick Saka when
Yeah.
when they
Understand.
it's
Understand.
not.
Understand. It does.
It's not. And
Understand.
let's bear in mind the other problem that Arsenal have is that they need a win in midweek.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so who knows what we'll do there, because
I
they
think
can't
that's a
afford
good
to
point,
bow
mate.
out.
Maybe they will bench
Yeah.
some players, right, or manage their minutes in that game. It could be.
They are playing on Tuesday, so they play Saturday night for this weekend, but they do play Tuesday, not Wednesday,
Mm.
for the Porto rematch. So let's see.
Interesting, interesting. So you can see there the order feature. Now, man, can we jump to cheap strategy? Because I think if you still have triple captaincy, man, this is the way to play. And the one that you're going to captain is Mr. Solanke. Hopefully he'll be fit. Yes, he played 90 minutes, but we still wants to know in terms of pressure from managers, just in case, right? Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
really going to
definitely.
give some indication that maybe Solanke cannot. But I think I actually read some tweet somewhere that Solanke intend to play both of the game. And that's
Yep.
pretty convincing. All right. Let's go into some chip strategy. This strategy is actually I extracted from the Fantasy Football Scout uh, wrote by Price, okay, or from
Okay.
FPL Wire, so you can read out inside there. But I just snapshot and just uh, I mean copy and just put here so everyone can see in terms of the so we go the first one me in terms of strategy. The I think this could be the popular one. All right. The
Yeah.
free hit in 29, wildcard in somewhere 35, and bench boost 37. You can see all strategy we have bench boost 37 is because we are expecting the big double game week will happen in that week. So that's why people are doing that and take advantage of those big double. Uh, w- why free hitting in 29 is because that is the big blank. I think that's the only reason that why we want to do that. You do not have a lot of players there. Okay. And then say you have like I don't know 3 to 4 players I can consider uh, you cannot cover that game over let's say someone who actually more 9 or 11 players in that game, so you want to have a full squad in game week
Yeah.
29, delay your wild card, all right, and closer to that 34, 37, or 35 doubles because you want to, if let's say you're bench boosting and wild card you have like a close gap, okay, and want to take advantage that and your team in double game week 34 and move and pick out all the bad teams. All
Yep.
right.
Okay.
And then quickly on wait wildcard 30 31. That could be another strategy where you navigate the double and blanks and then wildcard it out because international break will happen somewhere before 30. You can decide 30 31. It's why we mentioned that because in game week 30 or yes, in game week 30 is Arsenal Man City. So if you think that you want to have a lot of those assets, maybe that is not the week that you want. After that, you just deal with that and wildcard. Then the first double game week 34, you free hit and put all those players who you know later which going to have that fixture, and then BB in 37. And another one, mate, is actually wildcarding now because you do not set up for this double game week 28. Maybe like you do not have Solanke, so then you feel, are you going to bring Solanke, or this could be the time to construct your team, set up for this double game week 28, set up also for game week 29, the big blank game week, and then uh, you delay your free hit and do it somewhere. So I feel this also can be decent tactic, man.
Okay, so let's see. So now the biggest for me, for game week chip strategy one, the biggest problem for me is that you free hitting with small teams. So it's not big matchups. So that's why I feel like the in terms of I think it's mentioned here somewhere. Yeah, the upside is not that great, and then because you using a valuable chip on matchups that aren't exactly uh huge. Okay, you got Burnley versus Brentford, Luton versus Forest, Fulham versus Spurs, which is arguably supposed to be good, but then Fulham are looking good as well, and they're up
Huh?
against Spurs. Yeah, and then finally you have West Ham Villa. So West Ham, who are having a resurgence as well. They've won the last two matches in a row now, after some great deal of suffering before this, and against Aston Villa. So West Ham Aston Villa would arguably have been the fantastic 2 weeks ago. I mean, before that, people are looking at that as that's the one. But reality is, most people already have Watkins. So so the people you are free hitting are mostly the supporting cast. They're not the yeah, so not really. So maybe, or maybe Spurs if you want to triple out Spurs players. But do you, that London derby? It's not the matchup is not as great. So you feel that you're wasting that chip on on which you could probably get better matchups elsewhere. Yeah, so that's the biggest problem I have with the first one. And to be fair, the one thing I don't like about all three is that bench boost 37. 37 is such a volatile week. But I guess that's, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, so for the second one, yeah. The second one, honestly, that's the one I'm liking a bit. Yeah, because at the moment, if you look at my team, for me personally, okay, this is all personal. I got one Brentford player. I got two Luton players. I have one West Ham player, and I have actually three Villa players. So I'm already on 7 at the moment. So I feel that I can get away with maybe taking a hit and going to 9, because this week is all about bringing in Solanke. So by the next game week, maybe I just take a hit in game week 29, and then after that just wild card, because to reset my Liverpool, for example, getting the Liverpool attack, for example, and getting rid of all this Luton nonsense, who are only there, or who are only here because of this blank game week and the double game week that was rubbish for them anyway. So yeah, so that's the chip strategy that appeals to more, and I think that it might appeal to those who are looking to just dead end into game week 29. Yeah, so then the second strategy looks best. So now you're promoting me into wildcard now. So wildcard now is
Tapi,
just
I mean I mean you actually told a logical points in terms of your team, because I actually quickly count your team in around
yeah.
7 8 players, right? That you are set up for game week 29, right? That's
Yes.
that's one thing why you may be more set up in terms of game week 29. You might not
Yeah.
have to free hit, but the dilemma this week is you do not have Solanke. So you have Tony, you have Watkins, and you have Haaland, right? So it's a question, because you should not touch Tony, who going to play in 29,
Yeah.
and Watkins going to play 29, and looks like Haaland might go for that.
Yes. Which is why it's perfectly fine for me to sell Haaland in game week 29 and wildcard in game week 30, and and reset my City players and get some, which I've been missing points there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so let's
yeah.
look at the final option. I mean, I don't want to be too personal. Look at my team alone. So wildcard 28. Well, it's not really a good option for me, but it is a good option, especially for those who have plenty of injuries, or the wrong Arsenal player, or you got Gross, and like for me, Gross, it's a problem. You starting to realize Gross and Estepinian is a problem, so you might want to look at that, and it might be reasons for you to wildcard. The thing is, when you wildcard in this week, you're setting up for the rest of the season, right? So you will- you
Mm.
so you're looking at having enough wildcarding while having enough players for game week 29. So, but who do you want in wildcard 28 that you will bench in game week 29? Theoretically, you would still want Haaland. You want Salah as well. Yeah. So, but the problem with that is that Liverpool and City are playing each other this week. So it may, you'll play them definitely, and then you'll need another third player. Could it be Foden? Because you'll also want to bench him. So you need to think of the three players who you'll bench in game week 29. And the more you think about it, the more you think, do I have enough? I will still, and I feel that those who wildcard in 28 will still have run short in game week 29 in terms of the players they want, because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
just so many
I,
good
I
players.
suppose they, if you're wildcarding 20, I think you will not able to fill 11 players, but you maybe somewhere there, 9,
Yeah.
but it's still, yeah.
So that means that you are which is what I mentioned, alluded to earlier at the start, where you wildcard 28, you are basically, while you are getting some key players for game week 29, you are effectively sacrificing game week 29, but to set up for the rest of the season. So whatever your setup, and a bit of game week 28 as well, because you would still have the likes of Haaland and probably Salah as well. So but in a matchup that's arguably not the best for both, but you would want to bring them in then, because
Right.
you wouldn't want to have problems trying to bring them in game week 30 later. Yeah. So
Later I'll show you some wildcard 28 draft of and also some
hmm,
small one strategy in terms of, because Andy from Football Scout actually presented his team. He's wildcarding this week because
yeah,
his team are not setting up for 28 for sure in 29, and he decided to wildcard. Maybe we can just have a look whether
can.
uh, that could something possibility, because
There's definitely, yeah.
yes,
There's
that's
definitely
what
going. There's definitely going. Yeah, there's definitely going to be variety, because also,
Mm.
how many City players do you want now if you wildcarding in 28? Because City, as you mentioned earlier, they play Liverpool followed by
Blank.
Arsenal in game week
Yes,
30.
but
Yeah,
29 they blank. Mm.
yeah. In 29 they blank. So again, it's yeah. You have to plan that out.
All right. May I just read out a bit from here in terms of pro and cons? I just read out, and let's say why you've written 29, because you do not set up for that the big blank game week, and say you have 3 4 players, then you can maximize by focusing this week getting those both players, all right, or whoever Luton players who maybe you can take advantage 2 game this week and 1 gig next week. All right? Oh, no, sorry, you're free hitting, right? So no, you maximize on the Bournemouth players, and to an extent Luton players you're gonna have. Limit the number of hits. I think I like this. Means that limit the number of hits in 29. Okay. Yes, you could say no, Hafiz in game week 29. If you take -6, it's actually -4 because you're fielding 2 players who actually not play. Okay, fine. I think that's a good reason. But also another one maybe did not mention in here is, in my situation, if let's say I want to bring in someone in game week 29 and day ending, there's something that I want to think is taking out maybe Saka, maybe Palmer, who I have some team value, of which maybe later I need that money to buy Salah or something like that. That is playing in my mind, but maybe that is not something that a big one lah. Okay, in terms of team value, maybe I have some value because Palmer, when I bought him 5 million, now he's 5.9.
Yeah.
So if I sell him, I need I sell him at 5.3. I already checked a bit, and then I need to pay another 0.6 if I want to have Palmer back, of which I think people would need to buy him back because Chelsea fixtures, Spurs, they're going to double somewhere for sure. If let's say they defeat Leicester, they're going to double their fixture in 34. Maybe they have to postpone and somewhere in 37, things like that. So you need him back, but you need to buy back. I think that's another reason why I might. Before this, I'm thinking the ending at 30, but now I'm more open to 1529 because of that reason. But whether it is something that maybe that is not a big thing, Hafiz, take it and buy them at full value later lah, maybe.
Yeah, I think, and you raised a great point about Palmer, because people love to get rid of Palmer. That's he's another person that you would want to keep in, even in this the wildcard 28 bit in. But if you want to save on in terms of free hit 29, then yeah, you keep him. So and but again, that raises another point for me to not wanting to do the first option, because I if you notice, I no longer have Palmer. so 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 so
So it's independent, can I say? Maybe.
yeah. So and I did sacrifice him. This week, hopefully, you will see how Chelsea play against Newcastle. But because they blanked the game week after, then
Yeah.
wildcard 30 to bring him back, if that's my one.
Another one I just want to point out. I like wildcard 30 over 35 because maybe wildcard 35 is long way to go, and then you might not maximize the value, right? Me. So 30
Yeah,
should be the ideal. I suppose you're gonna know after the FA Cup result, you know the draw later, and then you pretty much know the rest of the season you can plan. I think that's one good thing if you want carry entity, which is my plan earlier. But I'm still open. I'm in
yeah,
orang kata in Malay di persimpangan dilema. I don't know which one to run. There is no right or wrong answer. But
yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, yeah. Another reason, because wildcarding in 35 feels, for a wildcard, that's just really late already, because you're basically setting up your team for only four
I
game
think
weeks.
I
Yeah,
agree.
which feels like you're wasting a card. But but the first strategy is fantastic for those who have planned their team properly. Their team is stable. They don't have any issues of covering the game week all the way to game week 35. They're strong enough anyway. So then it's a good one. Yeah, because remember, wildcard to 35, the biggest advantage for wildcard 35 is you can already it becomes very clear as to which teams have something to play for, which do not, who's still being distracted by Europe. So you can set that team up very well and do very well. It's just that, uh, but it will only work for those who have really planned out the teams,
Right.
and don't have any injury issues, serious injury
Yes.
issues. Yeah.
I just want to touch on the upside in terms of Wildcat 35. Um, you can see all strategy bench boost in 37. So you want to close wildcarding somewhere close to your bench boost 37, because say you wildcarding in 30 and you bench
Yes.
boost in 37, man, anything can happen during that 7 games. Someone injured, and then tiba-tiba your plan bench boost looks awful if let's say you have 2 3 players who are not playing or even injured. I
Injured.
think
Yeah.
that, especially if you're Wakari in 28, it's a long way to go. Bench boost 37. Anything can happen. We've been there, right?
True. Yeah. So we have to. Yeah. Again. Yeah. That is the biggest disadvantage of wildcarding in 28. Is just that, you know you're setting up your team for the rest of the season, but again, if unfortunate things can happen.
Okay. Quickly on triple captaincy,
Mhm.
not in here, but if you have, I think the 28 is the one, man.
Yep. Yep. So by doing, and it's almost definitive that I'll do it. It's not that big of advantage, but because I didn't, yeah, triple captain Haaland the other day. So as long as he scores a goal, think I've won.
Yeah. I think you got 10 points or more, you're the winner. Instead of
Yeah,
the triple captaincy in
Haaland.
uh,
Yeah.
125, is it?
Yep.
Uh,
That's right.
that's one. All right. Pretty much we just already touched. Just maybe I don't know if you want to touch a bit. If let's say someone already free hitting before, say they do not have free hit now, only left with two, maybe wild card. What he should do?
Um, it really depends. If he has already planned it out for the team, then the first option is still the way to go, where you survive but you survive the
Blank
game
game
week
week.
29, whatever players you have. Yeah. The alternative is, of course, to wild card. That game week 30 wild card is also a decent option. Yeah, but the wild card needs to take into account game week
Okay.
34. Yeah, but to do that is very tough. You have to make the best guess out of the FA Cup matches, and see what happens. Yeah. So I feel that uh the second option is probably the best. Yeah.
All right. Min, since we are on this topic, just quickly I show you wildcard 28 draft I have here. Let me check. This is what Andy team are setting up for this game with 28. Just hear me out first. How his strategy is. Is here it's not set up in terms of game week 28 and also 29, and he wants to make ground for sure. That's why he made the aggressive move. Game week 28 wildcard draft. Here the team, as you can see, he's set up for this double game 28. Three Bournemouth player, three Luton players. Three Luton players also set up for 29. Okay. So you can see here Neto Zambayi is because Senise is probably out, but we shall see on the team news. Solanke, you can see that captain. Luton Town, I guess this could be the best three Luton Town players: Doty, Buckley, and Morris. Right, in terms of minutes, they are secured. And then the likes of Arsenal players like Gabriel and Saka is still there. Has still got Son who actually played in 29. Palmer still decent, and Watkins. I think that's the core of the team. So means it's still ada mix of good players, right? And on dia punya bench, Areola who play in game week 29, facing Villa, right? Okay, and then Douglas Lewis who actually play in 29, Regular who play in 29, and Udogi, or could be Romero, depending which one you are, because Poro might maybe Poro if let's say he's fit. And you can see that in the bank he has 15 million. So means that he go 28. He's already settled in 29. If I may count how many players,
Yep.
Doty 1, 2, 3,
He's got 11.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 9?
Okay, so let's check. So let me
Yes.
see. You got Doty, you got um Barkley, you've got
Morris.
Sun 3,
Yeah.
you got sorry, not Solanke. You got Watkins
Watkins,
4,
Watkins and
Morris
Morris.
5, so Douglas Lewis 6, Ariola 7, Regulon 8, and Udogi 9. Yep, so that's 9.
So I think 9. He sacrificed a bit in 29, but 9 is still decent. And going 29. And then after that, after international break, he used this money to get Salah in for that Brighton game, if I'm right, playing at home. If I'm right, then they play
Would he
Sheffield United. So,
is there reason, would he sell will sell a Bournemouth player in game week 29 to bring the count up to 10? He could do that.
for 29,
For 29, yeah.
uh, he
So
can do
well,
that. But
yeah.
he prefers to save a transfer for that game week 30 and play 9 players. So
Okay,
it's
all right. So those are arguably the best players uh available for that. San, Udogi with Richarlison injured and Pedro or Pyro seemingly injured as well. Yeah,
but
so
no
so that
Bowen lah right here. I think that's the one more probably players that he doesn't have.
yeah. So which is ironic because he has Watkins and Douglas Lewis facing Ariola. That's the yeah. So that's another uh,
Yeah,
uh
we have that players playing each other for sure. But
yeah.
this is what he's doing, and this could be another strategy. But when I thought, because you do not have Solanke, I thought this could be a strategy you can do. But when counting your players, you're actually already setting up for 29. That's I think the difference.
It's just bringing in Solanke really. So yeah. So yeah.
Right. So I think if you're interested, your team are not set up, this could be a baseline. If you're
Oh,
interested to
okay.
wildcard in 20. If you don't like Palmer, you want to set up for the likes of Bowen, who has Burnley this game, week 28, which is still decent, and he also played in 29. It could be another
Yep,
option.
that's right. Yeah. West Ham's resurgence is interesting to watch. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go to game week 28 fixture. We already know in terms of Bournemouth and Luton Town, they play double this week. But what
Yep.
else? Other matches? Early kickoff, 8:30 p.m. Malaysian time. Manchester United versus Everton. Can they bounce back against Everton? I'm not sure whether Hodgson will be back. If he's back, maybe he'll make a difference, right? And then what else? Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Victoria Palace versus Luton, Wolves versus Fulham. Interesting. Could be another audition game before Fulham play in 29. And then on Saturday midnight, Arsenal versus Brentford. Could be another hauling win. 6-0, 5-0, I don't know, against Brentford. They have been leaking goals anyway. Villa Spurs, I think that's an interesting one, man. It's important. They're battling for fourth place, man. And if let's say Villa win this game, they will take another step into securing that Champions League spot. We have Brighton versus Forest. Yep, Brighton. You know, with Euro competition, their distraction are a bit high now. West Ham,
Yep.
Burnley, West Ham back-to-back win. Yeah, and then maybe they continue against Burnley. And then I think
Yeah.
pretty sure a big match on Liverpool versus Man City, top table clash. Man, I'm interested to see this game. 11:45 p.m. Malaysian time. And then on Monday, Chelsea versus Newcastle, another big game in terms of at least profile. I want to see whether Chelsea can perform. Prediction says that Chelsea should score more than Newcastle and better have clean sheet odds. We shall see on Monday night. Those are the game week, and those are the goals and clean sheet odds on the right side of the FPL.
So you could argue the overwhelming ones are Arsenal versus Brentford, who most people are probably set up for. West Ham, Burnley, which people are not quite set up for. We're just looking at the non-double gamers lah. Yeah. So it could really make the difference, those two. But of course Arsenal, because most people have. Yeah. For me, I'm going to be behind the couch lah, since I don't. Man United, Everton, both teams are bouncing back from losses, but you could arguably see it's still Manchester United's match to lose. They are the ones who are in quite good form, despite the setback. But against City, but that was against City. Against a team like Everton, it's almost a given. It's just the early morning thing, that early match issue that people might have to contend with. The other thing I want to point out is Wolves versus Fulham, which should be an interesting match. But the problem is the Wolves key players are walking wounded in the attack. You've got Cunha out, uh, Hichan, Neto, and Juan Gomez, not as key, but also potentially out as well. So that's Fulham might go for the kill there and continue good form. Who's the keeper's out as well, Jose Sa. So you need to check on the
Oh,
injury news on that as well. So it'll be interesting for those who have Fulham. Me hoping for some points for EOB. That'll be good as well. So definitely will be playing.
yep,
The Crystal
yep.
Palace Luton match, which should have been great for Luton, except that now they got the new manager. So we'll see how that goes. Luton's still fighting for survival.
Yes, for sure, man. Quickly on Bournemouth, odds, man. Predicted 2.5 goal involvement in that Sheffield United game. 2 goals, say lah. And then against Luton, another 2 goal odds. So you pretty much want Bournemouth player, especially
Yep.
Solanke, and maybe you can add in someone else, maybe in midfield. But I don't think we're going for Semenyo, right? Because our forward lineup is really packed. No room for any Bournemouth players, right?
Yeah, the rest are just too sporadic. Tavernier,
Mm.
Clovert,
Clivert.
Semenyo.
You had
They
experience with Clivert, right?
Yeah, I had Clover and Semenyo. They never scored when I was there. Now that I don't have them, they both score. Semenyo comes back from the AFCON and scores. Then Kluivert scores as well. So yeah, but it's just too inconsistent to want to look elsewhere. Now that who's that defenders? The guy who's Zaber, what's his name?
Zabani, yes.
Yeah, so he's definitely a trend
I think everybody
uh
is saying his name.
because of because Zenit
Senesi.
this
Uh,
because the problem with Hennessy, in terms of his
yes. Yes.
card issue. Yeah. So, but right now he had a hamstring injury as well, so he might not make it back. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So
might not make it back, but we shall see on the team news. I'm eager to
yeah,
see
we'll
to
we'll
hear.
check the team now. So the only thing with the Bournemouth match is because you Bournemouth are basically playing two teams who are fighting for their lives. Yeah, so definitely, I don't, it's hard to see clean sheets for both Bournemouth matches. Yeah, because they have to play. Yeah.
Yep, yep. All right, quickly one. I don't know. Captain pick. No Haaland in terms of predicted points prediction for game week 28 man from Fantasy Football Hub. In terms of points prediction, Solanke is predicted to have 10.8 points from this game week 28. You can see all feature in terms of bottom players and Morris in the top five. If you want to go different away from Solanke, maybe Morris. He also the talisman for Luton and take the penalty kick. So if you are more interested on other area like defense, maybe Neto could back to back clean sheet. I don't know. He could actually produce a predicted point is 8.2. Tavernier, the third one, but we hear that his performance not consistent at this juncture. But Semenyo in the top five. But pretty much everyone going to go for Solanke, right? I mean.
Yeah, and yeah, it's hard not to unless you really can't can't plan it out to have him. Because for I'm just checking. What because one of the problems with Luton was that they started going down the drain when Adebayor got injured. So
Ah,
yeah, so that was a bit of a that definitely disrupted their team. So otherwise, Morris could be would have been a stronger option when you look at it because with Adebayo around, Morris also does well. But other than that, when you look at that, it's Neto. No, I just mentioned that
no,
I don't
no,
see
no,
Bournemouth
no,
keeping
no.
clean sheet. So yeah, Solanke it is. It's just not the time to be brave and go rogue. I think Solanke is too far above and beyond. Bournemouth are playing at home. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Both game playing at home.
yeah,
So
both games
really,
playing at home.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we should complicate this, right, man? And you have triple capacity, just
As
activate it and enjoy that points.
as quite the rogue person when it comes to fantasy football, yeah, I'm going Solanke. It's just a question of the
I mean,
uh
I don't think Solanke we can categorize like we had players like White Horse or Dennis King like last time. I mean,
exactly.
he's
Yeah, this is a quality player. He is Liverpool after all. Former Liverpool.
all right,
Sorry.
man. Let's go to our team plan, man. I think my team first, and I'm in dilemma. That's for sure.
Go ahead.
All right, this is my team. I got 2.7 million in the bank and one free transfer. As you can see here, in terms of my team, I think pretty much I'm going to play Arola over Dubravka, who playing away to Chelsea, and West Ham play home to Burnley, and they could actually get a comfortable result against Burnley and keep a clean sheet. And defense a bit suspect, man. All right, because at this juncture I have Ake away to Liverpool, which I feel is going to be a high scoring game, and I don't think this is going to be a clean sheet game, right? But Ake for now. Gabriel home to Brentford. Then I have Doty, who I already planned few weeks back for this game week. He could easily be the best defense in terms of attacking
Mm,
between Bournemouth and Luton players, right? He
yep.
already produced an assist last week. He can produce that kind of result. In the midfield, I have Palmer, I have Foden, Saka, and San because the chances to injured unless I decide to bring someone else in midfield. Watkins, Haaland, and Solanke up front. Solanke is my captain for this week. And you can see my option, mean. I think the first option, if I decided not to free hit in 29. I think these two option is going to different road. If I bring in Bowen and take
Mm.
out Richardson out this week, it's because I wanted to take advantage Burnley game this week, who they're playing at home. Mana tahu another hat-trick from Bowen, and then Bowen gonna play GB 29. If I do this move, most likely I won't free hit it because tak logic, right? If you bring in Bowen and you still free hit in 29. Or the other option, I'm going to free hit in 29. So forget about 29. I'll get all the players who play in 29, but I focus in 28 because I'm going to use this one free transfer and take advantage of double game week 28, which is to improve my defense because Ake away to Liverpool, Bradford away to Manchester United, who I
Yeah.
suppose, as far as me, I think they're going to concede, and Taylor playing away to West Ham. So if I bring in this an option, Zabani, because Senesi is not an option if he's injured, in for Ake, he got a 2 game week this week. And who knows? 2 clean sheet, 12 point. I'll take it for sure. So what do you think, man? Okay,
I
let
of
me
course
count
will.
how many players. Let me count how many players I have. I have for
Yeah,
29. Yeah,
count.
Arela, Doty, San, Solanke, Watkins, not taking into account Richardson because he might not be ready, right?
Yeah.
And Taylor. So I got like 6 players. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Six, sorry, man. 6.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean for Richarlison is a case of you can if you can afford it, then just
No,
wait for
sorry,
one
mate.
more week.
Sorry, 5. I count Solanke. Solanke is not playing. Give me 29, sorry.
Yeah, something like that. 5. Yeah. Richarlison
5.
is really a case of if you're having, you might as well just hang on to him. So yeah, so you got, and one of them is Taylor, who's not exactly the best pick, especially against West Ham. So it's a I mean, obviously you'd want to do option 2 to add in more, to push into having more assets. For game week 28, a double gamer per se for game week 28, but unfortunately Zabani also blanks in game week 29. Yeah. So I guess it comes down to what is your most likely chip plan. Yeah. So
Yeah, interesting,
because
interesting, man.
yeah, because both of your options indicate that you are, well, the first option indicates that you are probably going to go to game week 29 without using, I don't know. So yeah, because by bringing in Bowen, yeah,
Yep,
because
you're correct.
yeah. So
You're
I don't
correct.
know.
You're correct.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to wait for news. See, mana tahu tiba-tiba Postecoglou says Richards is back and fit for Villa, which is unlikely, right?
Yeah. Well,
Which we shall see whether Postecoglou give indication. He's not ready, but maybe somewhere next week he could be. If let's say he mentioned that, just maybe. I have already 6 players. I got Bowen in 7. I got 29. Bring in another players. And I got like 8 players, which is I already got that key players. I
yeah.
bring in Tony. I bring in Bowen. I already have Watkins. I already have Son. I think that 4 players is the premium players that you want to have in 2020.
If you're looking at
Yeah.
this game week, yeah, I just at the end of, I just feel that option 1 has higher upside, even though he's only playing 1 match and Zabani's playing 2, and across both game week 28 and 29, definitely Bowen wins all out. Yeah, the Bowen option. But of course, you are replacing players who are not likely to play. But obviously Richarlison, maybe a chance, but it's Bowen. Option 1 wins out for me, definitely.
Okay. All right. Never mind. I have time to think about it. Just a bit on defendment. If let's say I do not make that Zabani move, who I'm gonna play? Ake or Brentford?
Uh, Brentford has a higher chance of randomly getting points than Ake.
Yeah. I think so. That's what my first thinking because I think that Liverpool Man City game is gonna be there'll be goals.
Yeah, Brentford.
All right. Right. Let's go to your team. What's in your mind? You got 8.5 million in the bank, man.
Okay, so firstly, Dubravka versus Kelleher is a decision I just can't figure out. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'm not. I will most likely play, depending on what happens this midweek. But then it's almost impossible to predict what RDZ is going to do. Yeah, but I have to decide between three arguably tough matchups. Estupinian, who may not play or may not start against Forest. Then Aston Villa play Spurs and Liverpool play City. So it's not great anywhere. Yeah. So I will, because it's I'm not most likely gonna wing it and put Bradley in with Kelleher and just hope for some attacking returns. Yeah. Um because the other problem I have is Gross. So what am I gonna do with Gross? So again, it's dependent. See what happens tonight. So because if I see him play full, I don't know if I want him. He's away to Roma tonight. So I don't know.
It's gonna be a tough one, but I feel he's okay. They just rated ahead of that game, but maybe Forest he will play.
Yeah.
If Neto is fit, I think you replace him over Tony. What do you think?
Who?
Tony playing away to Arsenal.
Tony plays away to Arsenal. So replace who?
If let's say Neto is fit,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I like I no I can't see myself benching Tony against Arsenal because I think if anyone
okay,
who can score, it's Tony.
fair,
Uh,
fair,
so uh
fair.
so in terms of my transfer, so how to bring in um some Solanke?
Solanke,
It is
Solanke, yes, 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 yeah,
it's got to be for Haaland, no one else.
yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So there you go.
Solanke have 2 games. Haaland's gonna have like 1 game for in the next two. So
Yeah.
and yeah, pretty much that's your transfer, Solanke, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then you set up for 29, suppose, and then you walk heading somewhere in 30. That's the plan, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan now because but it does show a failure to plan on my part because when I look at my in the bank 8.5, what the hell am I saving that for? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if I'm gonna wild card in 30, but yeah, it is what it is. I just have to adapt.
Okay, let me count again. You have Moreno, Doty, Buckley, Iwobi, Bowen, Watkins, Tony, Pau say play. So I think you have 8.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you can bring another player, 9 players, or take a hit for 10.
Yep.
If so the key players that you're missing here is Sun or any Spurs midfielder.
Spurs player. Yeah, a Spurs player. But again, it's not a straightforward thing anyway. So yeah.
All right, man. We come to the end of the stream. Let's quickly check on the game week 28 deadline. If I may, right, Saturday at 7 p.m. because
It's
Manchester
the
United play
earliest.
Everton at 8:30 p.m. Right. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the game week 28 deadline. So whoever around here, do support us by hit the like button and subscribe to our FPI Jedi YouTube channel. And you press the notification bell so you can know whenever we are live. All right, man. Your last word.
With all the Europe matches in play, I think it's very yeah, FPL does seem it feels to me does take a bit of a back bench for me this weekend simply because it's a Liverpool versus Manchester City game. But watch out, look out. Will if we see Salah back, definitely you need to factor him into your planning, even although you're not bringing him this week because of the blank game week the week after. Yeah, but Liverpool could be the assets that we need to look at after this weekend, depending on how they do against City.
All right.
Because
Good luck to
most
everyone.
people,
Right. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Thank you to continue to support us and see you again in game week 29 playing game week. But we hope we streaming daylight streaming. It has been a while. We shall see. Right.
yeah, we shall see. Let's see how we go. All right. Okay.
All right.
Take
Okay.
care.
Bye.
See you on the other side. Bye bye.